What did you do before you went to America, before you decided, OK, I want to make it as an actor, which I guess was partly what prompted the move to the States? What did you do? You'd studied law for a while, hadn't you?
I did. I studied law for 5 years, and I trained as a lawyer for 2 years. And a week before qualifying, they said, we think that you're a nut job. And I lost my job. And
Is that a legal term? Nut job?
Well, it was to them.
Why did they think that? What were you doing that was...
You know, I was many different things, actually. One, I wasn't very good. Two, I wasn't really trying to be very good. I wasn't inspired.
So you didn't really want to do it?
No, I mean, I enjoyed the studying. I was president of the Law Society and all of that, you know, but I just, the more time went on, the more I thought, this is not for me, especially when I started working. And I had issues.
What was
I had
job?
some issues, you know.
You saw the future stretching ahead of you.
Yes.
You didn't like what the future held. You didn't see yourself as doing this for 20 years.
Pretty much.
So,
yeah.
But that must have been a weird moment, knowing I've given this big chunk of my life to something, and, you know, it must have been quite, I would have thought, it's a bit like pulling the rug out from under yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And suddenly reality hits when I was sitting facing these 3 senior partners from the firm, and they said, you know, we're going to let you go. And it's best for you and it's best for us, and you know your talents are suited elsewhere at the pub. So
were you turning out? Were you boozing during the daytime?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I got to tell you, oh God, I have many stories about that. But I think I had 32 days off in 2 years, and 25 were Mondays. And
That's a pattern right there.
And then there was 5 Fridays and 2 Tuesdays. And I think I just did the Tuesdays to make the Mondays more convincing.
So how then do you make the leap to America? How do you get yourself over there? How do you get yourself set up as an actor?
Well, by the time I got to America, I'd been acting now for a couple of years, you know, and things had taken off, and they were going pretty well. Not amazingly. I mean, I didn't go over there as some movie star, but, you know, I had my first audition for a movie was actually Mrs. Brown. Right. Which I got the role for. So after Mrs. Brown, actually, my manager, who's actually my producing partner, I was supposed to have a meeting with him in America, and I went out there. I was doing something else, and I didn't even get in touch with him. I mean, this is my chance at meeting an agent or a manager. I didn't even make the call. I came back home, and he called me up, and he said, you're crazy, you know, you could do great. Let me represent you. Yeah.
So it was due to happen in a way. You know, he spotted something and you knew you could do it. But it's exciting. I get excited when I see someone, you know, following that dream and it happening for them, you know. And I've never met you before tonight, but I was really pleased seeing you in these movies. And when 300 came out, I vaguely knew I'd seen you some other stuff like that, and I thought, this is great. And I was so thrilled when it was a big hit, especially because it was a better movie than it needed to be. You know what I mean? It could have just been a comic book action film, but it had a lot more going on. Must have been a tough one to shoot, though, I would have thought, wouldn't it?
It was an intense shoot. I mean, I trained for 4 months before we even started, and
that was working out and stuff?
Well, it was working out, yeah.